If you're looking for a reasonably priced touchscreen multimedia head unit with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, hang out for this video. We'll be examining the JVC KW-M56BT. This is a double DIN radio loaded with some great features at a great price. So don't go anywhere because we're going to be doing a full review and demonstration on this radio. Hey, this is Josh from Breakers Stereo and Performance. Welcome to the YouTube channel that reviews, demos, and goes over the latest in aftermarket auto accessories like car audio, performance, suspension, and more. Because we don't drive stock, and if you're like us where stock just does not cut it, join the Breakers Upgrade Nation and subscribe to this channel. All right, hit that subscribe button. There it is, it's right there. Now, most touchscreen multimedia units are going to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And those are great features because they allow you to run certain important apps through the screen on the radio, like your favorite music apps, such as Spotify or Google Play, and navigation apps like Google Maps and Waze. The interface and user experience is great because those are developed by Apple and Google, two monsters in the tech world. So this radio has those features and a little bit more, and we'll be going over them here in this video. So let's go over them now. This is a digital multimedia receiver with AM/FM tuner. Note, it does not play CDs or DVDs. It's a 6.8-inch capacitive touchscreen. This is a double DIN shallow mount radio. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are wired. This radio uses the Bluetooth mic for Siri and Google Assist. Android mirroring through the USB, built-in Bluetooth for hands-free calling and audio streaming, and audio-video features include USB memory devices, a 13-band equalizer with time alignment, high-pass and low-pass filtering for your front, rear, and subwoofer. Expandability includes Sirius XM radio, radio tuner sold separately, steering wheel control adapter ready, adapter sold separately, a rear USB input, and a rear AV input through a mini jack that can be used as audio video or an additional camera in addition to the backup camera input. So you could do both front and rear cameras. This has a rear video output through the RCA that could be used to sync up a rear entertainment screen. 5-channel, 4-volt preouts, front, rear, and sub. Built-in amplifier, 25 watts times 4 RMS, 45 watts times 4 peak, and a 1-year warranty. Okay, let's talk about the models JVC offers above and below this model in a section we like to call above and below. And hopefully this will help you make a decision as to which radio is better for your needs. But first, let's talk about the price for this radio. Now, it currently sells for $369, but is subject to change. Now, the above model, the KW-M56BT, retails for $499. So here's what you get for an extra $130. 4-volt preouts, a dedicated extra camera input, iData-Link Maestro compatible, and on Bluetooth 2-phone full-time connection, K2 technology and high-res for better sound quality, live wallpaper, and a little more power at 22 watts RMS, 50 watts peak. But here's a strange move by JVC. This radio has a resistive touchscreen versus the KW-M56BT, which has a capacitive touchscreen. Now, capacitive touchscreens are more sensitive to the human touch, thus more accurate and do better in sunlight as well, while resistive touchscreens will work with any touch, so if you're wearing gloves, it'll still respond, but don't do as good in sunlight. But JVC did put a matte layer over the top of their resistive touchscreens to reduce that issue. And the below model is the KW-M350BT, which is $299. And here's what you don't get: the resistive touchscreen versus the capacitive touchscreen. And you don't get Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which are big features. But here are some features that you do get that the KW-M56BT does not have. 2-phone full connection, K2 technology for better sound quality up to 192 kHz/24-bit, iData-Link Maestro compatible, and 4-volt preouts. So if you want better audio features and don't care for the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay features, this radio would be a good choice for you. Okay, let's do the unboxing. But before we do that, I want to remind you this radio can be purchased from us. Just visit our website. We do have lots of financing options available, including no credit check needed options. So you can get what you want now and make low payments. Okay, let's get to the unboxing. All right, let's take a look. All right, so This does come with a trim ring and also a cage, which I'll show you here in a minute, which definitely is nice to have because it gives you more mounting options. Your hardware, the keys to remove the radio when it's in the cage, your Bluetooth mic. You have your main harness here that has your power, your ground, your speaker outputs, and then this wire here is for your parking brake. And if you hook this up to your parking brake and engage it, it will allow you to have full functionality of the radio. Okay, your manuals. All right, so this is the cage I was referring to. Not all double-din radios come with that. And then here is our screen. This is about, I'd say 3 inches or so in depth. And then we do have a row of buttons here on this side, and then that 6.8-inch screen. Okay, so this is your main harness input. Then you have the parking brake wire, you have your remote control wire, this is for your steering wheel control, and then the reverse wire for your backup camera. On your preouts, you have your front, rear, and your sub is a 1-channel, so that is your sub output there. You have your camera input here, your video output here. Okay, you have your AV input through that 3.5mm cable. You are going to need to purchase a separate cable, it does not come with that. Bluetooth mic input. This is your Sirius XM input. Your rear USB, which is a 5-volt, 1.5 amp, and then your AM/FM antenna input. Okay, let's get into the demo. Okay, this is your home screen. If you touch this here, this will give you all your sources. So here you have your tuner, Bluetooth audio, USB, Android Auto, AV input, Sirius. Okay, let's go ahead and go into settings. All right, so here's our setup. You have your AV setup. This will allow you to turn the AV on or off. You can also adjust the contrast, brightness, and color and tint from here. All right, so that is a great feature. On the display, you have your dimmer, clock, screen adjustment, and background. So let's go to screen adjustment. So this will allow you to adjust that contrast, brightness, color, and tint with the coloring in the background. So you're able to adjust it according to that. We've got some preloaded images. You can also upload your own background if you wanted to through the USB. Okay, then you have user interface. You have beep on or off. Language, format, clock adjustment is done here. Okay, you have camera. So you have your camera guidelines on or off, and then you can also set up the guidelines as well, so you can fully adjust those. On special, we have your demo on or off. Your software information will be here. So this will let you know what software is currently running on your radio. Open source licensing if you want to read that, and then initialize. Bluetooth menu here. Okay, pretty straightforward stuff. And then device. So from here, you can select either Android Auto or mirroring for Android. Now there's no mirror option for iPhones. You can get an HDMI to composite downscale and mirror your iPhone. Okay, moving on to audio. You have a speaker and crossover. So here you can select which speaker sizes you have in the front and the rear, and also the locations on the crossover. So you have front, rear, and subwoofer crossovers. Let's take a look. Here are the frequencies you can choose from: 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 120, 150, 180, and 220. Okay, so that's a pretty wide range. You have the same crossover points for the rear and also for the sub. Your dB slope for your crossover is selectable from 6, 12, 18, and 24. And you also have a gain adjustment here on the front, rear, and subwoofer, along with a tweeter adjustment on the front channels. This is your 13-band fully adjustable equalizer from 62.5 Hertz up to 16K. Bass extender is also done here along with the subwoofer level. You have your listening position. So you have some default settings here. You got front, left, front, right, all front and all. And then if you want to do time alignment, you can fully adjust it here as well. Again, time alignment is measuring from the center of the speaker up to the driver side headrest on each corner here. And if you wanted to do the subwoofer, you can do that as well. And that will make for better staging. Fader and balance is pretty straightforward. You have your volume offset, so each of your sources can have a separate volume. So if you're toggling between, let's say, Apple CarPlay and the radio, and let's say the radio is not loud enough, you can turn up the volume on the radio. So when you switch over from one to the other, the volume will stay consistent. Sound effect, up to 3, and loudness also. And loudness from low to high. Now, if you're adding amplifiers, you're gonna wanna leave these on off. But if you're using the power in the radio, you can mess around with these to see if you like them or not. Okay, let's take a look at Apple CarPlay. So most of you guys are familiar with this, so we'll just kind of blow through this. So here you're able to use applications that have to do with navigation, music, or phone call, or messaging. Here you have your Apple Maps. You also have Google Maps and Waze. Spotify would also do Pandora, iHeartRadio, and of course, Apple Music. And then messaging apps like WhatsApp, and then your standard text messaging. And here's our home screen for Android Auto. So here you can also do your music apps and your navigation apps, as well as your messaging apps. Okay, so let's talk about mirroring. So what you want to do here in order to mirror is go into the setup, go to device, and then switch Android to Android mirroring. You are going to need an app in order for this to work, which is the JVC mirroring app. Once that's loaded, you're going to go ahead and want to unplug your phone, plug it back in, and then USB mirroring should pop up. Here's your QR code for that app if you don't have it already. All right, so once that takes, you can see we're mirroring our phone. So once that's running, you can actually use the touchscreen to control the radio, which is a really cool feature. So let's say, for instance, we wanted to go to YouTube. We can simply type in YouTube. So from here, I'm able to control the phone completely and even select videos on YouTube. I can fast forward, I can skip ads, I can do all that from the face of the radio. So that's a really cool feature. Now make note, this will not stream Netflix or Hulu right off the bat. You may have to do some type of workaround in order for those apps to stream their content, but right off the bat, you will be restricted from using those streaming services. Okay, that'll do it for the demo. Pros and cons, starting with the cons. No iData-Link Maestro. 2-volt output instead of 4-volt output or better. Pros: Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, of course, 13-band equalizer, built-in crossovers, high and low pass, time alignment, of course the price point, and the JVC brand, which is solid and reliable. This radio is a good choice at this particular price point, and we're gonna give this radio a 4.5 stars. To purchase this radio, we have left the link in the description below. Remember about our financing? Simply add to cart, pick a financing option, get approved, and we'll send your radio out to you ASAP. Make sure to like this video and join the Breakers Stereo Upgrade Nation by subscribing to this channel. Again, my name is Josh. I'm with Breakers Stereo and Performance. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next video.